Dopamine is a chemical compound found naturally in human bodies. It helps in transmitting information in the central nervous system. It plays a role in our ability to feel good, focus, move, and enjoy certain activities. It belongs to a group of molecules called the catecholamines or phenethylamines. They are made up of an amine group and a catechol 1,2-dihydroxy-substituted benzene ring. Other well-known catecholamines are norepinephrine, popularly known as noradrenaline, and epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. The chemical name for dopamine is 4,2-aminoethyl benzene 1,2-diol. Dopamine production occurs at several brain parts, but mainly at the substantia nigra and vegral tegmental areas of the midbrain. It can also be produced at the arcuate nucleus of the hypothalamus. Dopamine production occurs in two stages. The first stage is when a phenyl group is added to the benzene ring of an amino acid known as L-Tyrosine. This is catalyzed by an enzyme, tyrosine hydrolase. This process forms levodopa, also known as L-dopa. The second stage involves the removal of the carboxylic group of the L-dopa to form dopamine, catalyzed by an enzyme called dopa carboxylase. How does dopamine transmit signals to the brain? Cells communicate with each other to send signals from different parts of the body to the brain. Hormones and neurotransmitters are some of the media through which these signals reach the brain. In each cell, receptors receive these messages that the hormones are carrying. There are different types of receptors in the neurons of the human brain, but the G-protein coupled receptors (GPCRs) are the majority. Dopamine carries signals and information through the synapse, which is the gap between neurons. The dopamine receptors can be found in neurons present in the central nervous system. They are D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. After dopamine is produced, they pass signals to these receptors in other neurons and they get degraded. Then the cycles repeat. The effect of dopamine on the body depends on the neuron and receptors involved. There are four pathways in which dopamine is used to transmit signals. They are, the nigrostriatal pathway, which controls movement; the mesocortical pathway, which controls priorities, responsibilities, making and executing plans; the tubero-infundibular pathway, which regulates the secretion of breast milk during breastfeeding; the mesolimbic pathway, which controls pleasure, confidence, rewards, and emotions. What are the effects of dopamine deficiency? Dopamine is important in the control of muscular movements and emotions. The level of dopamine affects brain functions like mood, sleep, concentration, and memory. Symptoms of dopamine deficiency are muscle pain, trembling, constipation, difficulty in chewing and swallowing, lack of focus, moodiness, and feeling of hopelessness. Other symptoms are anxiety, low libido, loss of balance, suicidal thoughts, hallucinations, low self-esteem, lack of motivation, deep sadness, and urge to cry. Illnesses like Parkinson's disease and depression could cause dopamine deficiency. Parkinson's disease is a nervous system disorder that affects the substantia nigra. These are the neurons that produce dopamine. These neurons break down and die. This results in low dopamine levels in the body. It develops gradually and gets worse as time goes on. It could start as a slight tremor on the hands and degenerate to muscle stiffness and slurred speech. Symptoms of Parkinson's disease are tremors, changes in handwriting, reduced coordination, slow movement, change in gait, loss of automatic movement, sleep problems, bladder and gut problems. Depression is a mood disorder characterized by a feeling of anger and sadness. Dopamine is a pleasure or reward hormone. People in a depressed state lacks the motivation to carry out activities and they no longer enjoy things they originally do. Finding out the dopamine level could be one of the ways to tackle depression. People with a family history of depression are very likely to be depressed or develop other mood disorders. History of drug abuse, trauma, assault, physical abuse, and mental illness could increase the chances of depression in an individual. Can supplements boost dopamine levels in the body? There are supplements that can increase dopamine levels in the brain. Dopamine cannot be administered as a supplement or drug because it cannot pass the blood-brain barrier. Therefore, these supplements contain amino acids that are used by the brain in dopamine production. These are mood enhancement ingredients that are added to these supplements. Mucuna pruriens. This is a legume also known as velvet beans that originated from southern China and eastern India. It naturally contains levodopa L-dopa in large quantities, as much as 4 to 7%. L-dopa is needed by the brain to produce dopamine. L-dopa can cross the blood-brain barrier and is used by the brain to produce dopamine. Studies have shown that this legume had been used to increase the dopamine levels in people with Parkinson's disease. Mucuna pruriens can also be used as an aphrodisiac, anti-diabetic, anti-venom, antibiotic, anti-inflammatory, and as an antioxidant. L-Tyrosine. This is the protein that the brain uses to produce L-dopa in the presence of enzymes. It is available in diets and can also be synthesized by the body. It can be found in foods like wheat, beans, fish, meat, eggs, milk, and nuts. This amino acid supplement can help to regulate sleep, alleviate emotional stress, and improve bad moods. It has also been used in alternative medicine to boost memory, concentration, and mental alertness. L-tyrosine supplements can also be administered to people who are depressed or has attention deficit disorder (ADHD). Rhodiola rosea. This is a herb that grows on the cold mountains of Europe. The roots are believed to be adaptogens, which means that they help the body to adapt to stress and fight off fatigue. Rhodiola supplements have been used to increase the sensitivity of the brain to neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. Sometimes, rhodiola can be used as an alternative antidepressant in people with attention disorder and memory loss. It could also help to reduce the symptoms of depression, which is attributed to low levels of dopamine in the brain. Side effects are quite minimal, but those that have high blood pressure are asked not to take it. L-theanine. This is an amino acid found in green tea, black tea, and some species of mushrooms. It is not essential for humans and cannot be synthesized by the human body. However, its presence in the human body has been known to increase the production of dopamine and serotonin in the brain. It is also believed that L-theanine improves sleep, helps to achieve better mental focus and relaxation. It is also available in pill or tablet forms. It is used to combat stress, anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's disease, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder (ADHD), flu, and improve mental performance. Ginkgo biloba. This is one of the oldest trees on Earth. It is present in fossils dating back as 230 million years. A ginkgo tree can live as long as 1,000 years. The leaves of the Ginkgo biloba tree are taken orally for vision, memory, and thought problems. The extracts from its leaves have been used in cosmetics, and its seeds are roasted and eaten in Japan and China. Research showed that taking the extracts from the leaves of the Ginkgo biloba tree for a month reduced the symptoms of anxiety. Taking the extracts for up to 12 months improved some of the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. It has also been used to improve vision in people with diabetic retinopathy, vision problems due to diabetes, and glaucoma. It has also been used to manage peripheral arterial disease, reduced blood flow to the limbs, premenstrual syndrome, schizophrenia, vertigo, dizziness, and tardive dyskinesia, movement disorder caused by using antipsychotic drugs. Ginkgo is safe when taken orally. Higher doses and prolonged use might cause minor side effects like constipation, allergic skin reactions, and headache. Ginseng. This is a short plant that has 11 different varieties. The two main species are the American ginseng, Panax quinquefolius, L., and the Asian ginseng, P. ginseng. The roots of the ginseng plant can be eaten raw or boiled. It can also be taken as a pill, capsule, or tea. It is believed that certain compounds found in ginseng, such as ginsenosides, can increase the dopamine levels in the brain. Therefore, ginseng can be used to enhance brain activity, improve mood, memory, cognitive functions, and attention. Scientists have concluded that the saponin or ginsenosides of this plant are responsible for its pharmacological effects and its action on the central dopaminergic system. Ginseng is also known to be antiapoptotic, prevents cell death, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidative. It suppresses the death of neurons that produces dopamine, which occurs in Parkinson's disease. Curcumin. This is the biological component of turmeric. Turmeric is a spice extracted from the rhizome of a plant of the Curcuma longa group. It is known to be anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, anti-tumor, anti-rheumatic, anti-hypertensive, and anti-diabetic. Unlike dopamine, it can cross the blood-brain barrier due to its lower molecular weight and polar structure. Recently, curcumin has been scientifically proven to be potent in the treatment of some neurological disorders and diseases. Curcumin has also been used as an antidepressant because of its interaction with dopamine receptors, thereby increasing the dopamine levels in the brain. Curcumin is not easily absorbed when ingested, but it is rapidly metabolized. Therefore, it must be administered in combination with other supplements or modified entirely. Caffeine. This is a stimulant that is present in some food like coffee beans, tea leaves, and buds, cocoa beans, guarana seeds, and dola nuts. It can be beneficial or risky depending on the dosage and frequency of use. The recommended maximum daily intake of caffeine is 400 mg daily. Caffeine increases the dopamine level in the brain by preventing its reabsorption after its production. Caffeine is popularly known to enhance weight loss by decreasing appetite, increase cognitive functions, alertness, and speed reasoning. It is also helpful in sports performances, protecting the body from liver and colon disease, cancer, diabetes, cataract, and stroke. Caffeine can be fatal when overdosed. Oregano oil. This is an oil derived from the oregano plant. It contains two major components, carvacrol, and thymol. Carvacrol is a phenol which is also an antioxidant. Thymol also occurs in thyme. Oregano oil can be taken orally, diffused in steam and inhaled, or diluted and applied to the skin. Oregano increases dopamine levels by decreasing dopamine breakdown and uptake. SAM-E. This is chemically known as S-adenosylmethionine, which is a compound that occurs naturally in the body. It is not an amino acid, but it is a direct metabolite of an amino acid L-methionine. It is administered orally for the cure of depression because it increases the production of serotonin, dopamine, and other pleasure neurotransmitters. Kava. It can be taken in forms of root extracts, capsules, tea, powder, concentrate paste, or tincture. The two main active compounds in kava are cavalpyrones and cholcones. The cavalpyrones, which include methysticin, dihydromethysticin, kavain, hydrokavain, and yangonin, are responsible for muscular relaxation and calmness. The cholcones, which are flavocoane A, flavocoane B, and flavocoane C, are antioxidants, anti-cancer, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory. Kava increases the dopamine level in the brain by preventing the enzymatic removal of neurotransmitters like adrenaline, serotonin, and dopamine. It can also be used as an immune booster, treatment for menopausal symptoms, and drug addiction. Sidda Choline. This is also known as citidine diphosphacholine. It is made up of citidine and choline and possesses neuroprotective properties. Sidda Choline increases the brain dopamine level by transporting it to the brain from other parts of the body. Sidda Choline helps in the improvement of memory and brain functions. This compound can be used to enhance concentration, focus, combat the death of neurons. Phosphatidylserine. It is a phospholipid, fatty substance, that protects the brain and also transmits signals. It has been known to boost memory, cure multiple sclerosis, and muscle soreness in athletes. It increases the level of dopamine in the brain. Therefore, it is used to boost memory, increase concentration and learning abilities, reduce the symptoms of ADHD, dementia, and treat Alzheimer's disease. Pregnenolone. This is a hormone produced in the adrenal gland and from cholesterol. It is a parent hormone in the production of many enzymes like cortisol, testosterone, progesterone, estriol, estradiol. It is used to enhance deep sleep, learning, and memory. It encourages the release of dopamine but doesn't happen in the time of stress. Long-term use of this supplement can lead to dependency. Berberine. This is an extract from herbs like barberry and California poppy. It inhibits the enzyme that disrupts the production of dopamine from tyrosine. Resveratrol. This is a polyphenol found in wines, grapes, and nuts. It is popular for its antioxidative and anti-inflammatory properties which protect the body from carcinogens, substances that can cause cancer. Resveratrol is known to lower blood pressure, protect the brain, ease joint pain, and suppress cancer cells. The strong anti-inflammatory property of this compound enables it to slow down the death of neurons that produce dopamine in people with Parkinson's disease. Other supplements that could boost dopamine production are probiotics, magnesium, vitamin D, and fatty acids. If you've enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button below. Turn the notification on, so you'll know once we post a new video. Do not forget to visit our site, www.zymsupplementsguide.com. More supplements content like this.